Set goals with great intentions but always fail or fall off, then this video is for you. I'm going to be talking about why systems are the key and not goals. So I'm going to go in with personal examples. I have 5 things that you can institute that are systems that are going to help you actually achieve goals without fixating on a goal or a habit without a plan and therefore falling off. So let's get into it. Number 1 is to lower the bar until it feels almost silly. So define the minimum viable habit you'll do even on your worst day. This has really worked for me in the past. Like for example, with healthy eating habits and stuff like that, you want to design the habit so that there is no way you could not achieve it. And of course, you want to make it difficult enough that obviously you're striving for something, otherwise why would you have the habit? But it is not, for example, like say you want to get into running. It might not be viable to do 5K every single day, but you might have a training plan that you are sticking to, but you want to have a fallback plan. So like say that something happens and you're not able to fulfill your training for that day, make it a goal to still do 10 minutes of running. 10 minutes of running. Everybody can make 10 minutes in their day. And if you do that, you're also strengthening the skill of time management because you are making sure that even when you are, down, depressed, everything's going wrong, that you are still making time for those 10 minutes. And that in itself is a skill. It is carving out that time for yourself. So that is example number 1. Always have a fallback plan and make the bar so low that it feels almost silly. Number 2 is to attach new habits to existing anchors. So I have definitely done this before where I will have a habit and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to do this habit every day, wherever in the day it suits me. That for me oftentimes does not work because then it's just going to be floating around. You're typically going to put it off or like you didn't have time for it in the morning. You want to actually make it so clear at what point in the day you're going to do it. Right before bed, maybe right when you wake up, when you're having your morning coffee, etc. But always do it at the same time every day because you will be so much more likely to actually get these things done on a daily basis if you have a very strictly anchored time and anchored habits, like a habit that's maybe anchored to something that you were always doing anyway, like waking up, going to sleep, drinking coffee, etc. Number 3 is to design your environment so the good choice is the default. So you have to set yourself up for success here and work for your future self. So you in the present are putting on your thinking cap and thinking, how am I going to make this as easy as I can for my future self? So oftentimes this might be environmental. So for example, I've talked before about the fact that I am very prone to not hearing my alarm. Excuse me, I have many different alarms sometimes, but one thing I will do is put my alarm, so I put like my phone's alarm on the coffee machine, so on my Nespresso, and then that's kind of like, I'm looking forward to my coffee obviously, but I have to walk all the way over there to go turn it off. So that's just one example. Example I have written down on here is phone charges outside the bedroom, so it's harder to doom scroll at night. So design your environment with systems in mind. Number 4 is to track the action, not the outcome. So track, did I show up instead of did I succeed? So example is to check mark for opening your budget maybe on like a weekly or monthly basis, not saving the $500. So I think that this might be a little bit counterintuitive sometimes, but at the end of the day, all you can do is control your own actions, especially in areas of your life where maybe there is some sort of there's luck involved, or maybe in terms of career, etc. There are other players around you. There are other your colleagues that maybe you're competing against for the promotion. Like, you can't control everything in life. That's just the way it is, but you can control how you show up. So you need to start patting yourself on the back for the things that you are actually doing, the work that you are putting in. Just like when it comes to maybe weight or something like that, track your activity instead of if you are losing weight. At the end of the day, that's going to be a much more constructive way to go about things. It's going to make you feel better about yourself, and it's honestly more sustainable over time. Number 5 is to create a weekly reset instead of daily pressure. So sometimes you may want to try something for a week and then iterate before you continue it. So an example is that I've spoken before of how I want to do the 30-day digital detox by Cal Newport. But for example, right now I'm doing what I'm calling a soft digital detox. So I'm doing like a week long where absolutely no scrolling, no things like Instagram and stuff. But I have a couple like work-ins. Like for example, I was allowed to like open my Instagram once a day to check my DMs, stuff like that. So working in a softer, easier plan maybe for a week as like a practice, and then you can reset after that week and reevaluate. Was it helpful? Do you need to make it more difficult, easier? And honestly, that has been really great. And then instead of looking at how you did every single day, you were looking at yourself holistically over the week. So maybe you messed up once or twice, but hey, across the 7 days, I did really well. So I think that is also a really constructive way to look at things when it comes to habits and self-improvement. A lot of it is building systems that are sustainable. So if you are just striving for like perfection in every single thing that you do, that's not feasible because people are going to drop off. So if you can create systems that will allow you to bounce back, that will keep you in line, of course, but also allow you to bounce back when you do mess up. That is a really beautiful thing. And over the long run, that is going to make you stay in there in the long game when maybe somebody that was hyperfixating on perfection fell off many, many weeks, months, or years earlier than you. So yeah, that is my little TED Talk for the day. 5 things that will actually change your life. Systems, not goals. And I think that is the key here. So much of self-improvement is just conceptual, in my opinion, and it's not practical. So you need to actually build practical systems and sometimes iterate and iterate and iterate until you find something that works for you. Sometimes the weirdest things that I have done has made the biggest improvements in my life. So yeah, leaving you with that note. Happy habiting and happy systeming.